Hey there world, I'm the Courageous Goldfish, and today we are back on everybody's favorite website, My Figure Collection. MFC serves many purposes in the figure collecting community. Collectors can catalog their collections, keep track of their pre-orders, but my personal favorite feature, and also what we're talking about today, is the wished category. On one hand, you have the people that are strictly using their wished category for like grails, figures that have already been released that they're hunting for. On the other flip side of that, people use it strictly for drafts of unreleased figures that they want to see how they turn out. For me, I am a little bit of both of those two camps. I've got some stuff in there that I'm hunting for and some stuff that hasn't come out yet. I did a video like this a couple of years ago now, probably 14, 15 months ago now, where I was going through my wished folder at the time and just kind of talking about what I was looking for, what I'm interested in adding to my collection. I think that when we did this before, I had like 45 to 50 things saved in my wished folder, and today I have 80. Again, a lot of these are things that I'm hunting for, things that I'm like trying to decide if I'm gonna buy, drafts that I'm excited about, or like drafts that I'm just kind of interested in seeing how they turn out. So we'll talk about that as we go through each figure, but without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Obviously, there are some that have just kind of continually existed on this list. Either I've just been too lazy to pick them up, or I just haven't found a good deal on them yet. Also, when I made that video, we were having real problems with shipping. DHL was the only way to ship anything out of Japan, and so I was like waiting for the cheap shipping to come back, which for Mandarake, it never did. So a lot of these are things that I was planning to buy off of Mandarake that I now just feel like are way too expensive to buy off there. Recently, I've been getting a little bit more back into Solaris Japan. They have way cheaper shipping rates than Mandarake does, and they also have a pre-owned section, so you can get older figures on there. I'm just gonna have to see how it goes, I guess. But without further ado, let's just jump into it with our first figure of the day, which is the Max Factory 1/7 scale Hatsune Miku. Again, this one was in my other video. I just really love classic Mikus, as I've said many times before. This is Miku to me. When I picture Miku, I see this in my brain. This exact pose, this exact art style, this is Miku to me. This one is pretty old, but it is Max Factory. It is a scale figure. And I actually didn't know that at first when I saved it because I wasn't really into scale collecting. I was just browsing on Mandarake, and she is like dirt cheap. Dirt cheap on Mandarake. Like, I've seen her unopened for 3,000 yen. So there's really no reason why I shouldn't have this one already. She is a good price. You can find her pretty readily. I honestly don't know why I don't have this already. All right, this is the 1/8 scale Senbonzakura Hatsune Miku by Freeing. I've kind of flip-flopped on this one, whether or not I really need to have it, because obviously I love Senbonzakura. I love classic Mikus. However, there's something about this one very specifically. She's kind of difficult to find, and when you do find her, she's a little bit more expensive than I'd be willing to pay for this particular figure. I just don't think that she's worth what she's going for at the moment, and so I guess that's part of my hesitation for picking her up. However, we did actually just get a new Senbonzakura Miku announcement at the last One Hobby, which I also have saved somewhere. Design Coco is doing another scale figure of Miku in her Senbonzakura outfit. So I think I'm gonna be waiting to see what this one looks like before I pull the trigger on either of them. Is anyone surprised? Are we surprised? Are we really surprised? This is the Urza Scarlet 1/7 scale battle version by X Plus. I particularly love this figure because she is in an armor that we don't see very often. This is Urza's only figure in this particular armor, and this one is one of my favorites of hers. The thing with a lot of these older figures that I have saved is that we are in such a transcendent era of anime figures. I know that sounds like really weird to say, but figure releases now are just so much fancier and so much nicer than they ever have been. And so obviously you look at old figures like this and you're like, she's not really that special. And she goes for like at least 20,000 I've seen. So she's a pretty expensive girl. And I just, like, obviously I love Urza so much, and this is gonna be a splurge that I'm gonna have to pick up at some point. I'm just dragging my feet because I know that the figure is not worth what her aftermarket is. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody has that Grail that's like, she's not actually that cute. I just love that character so much. And that is actually also the case with the next one on this list, which is my Owari no Seraph Guren Ichinose men's hedge figure by Union Creative. This one, honest to God, throughout my entire collecting career, through the entire time that I have been curating an anime figure collection, this one has been my #1 ultimate Grail. I don't even like this figure that much. He's literally just standing there. I think his facial expression is like, okay, but it's not special. He's just all right. But I love Guren so much that I am like dying to have this figure because it is the only version of him that there has ever been. And I just feel like I need him, even though I know that he is not at all worth what he's going for. Hatsune Miku 1/8 scale Harvest Moon version by Good Smile Company. You have to be so picky about the Mikus that you pick up. You have to like love everything about the Mikus that you pick up because there are just so many that it is like so hard to choose. This is actually a recent addition to my wish category. I've always liked this figure, but I never saw myself picking it up or adding it to the collection until recently. This is very like autumnal Harvest Moon type of like fall vibes. And I just feel like she would go so well with my Snow Princess Miku. I actually have not been able to find her on pre-owned yet, which is weird. So I actually don't even know how much she's going for these days, but this one is in there because I feel like I could see myself picking this one up. This is the original character Ichigo Milk, 1/8 scale by Binding and Native. This one in particular I really, really like because she is just so like girly and frilly and sweet and cute, and it's just kind of like everything that I like aesthetically. She is sitting on a scoop of strawberry ice cream. How adorable is that? Her big ass spoon? Are you kidding me? So keep in mind that I am already very invested in like sweets looking girls, especially when it comes to lewd figures. I just think that that dichotomy between like the sweet and the sexy, I love that a lot. So keep that in mind when I tell you that at the latest One Hobby, one of my most favorite runaway announcements was Max Factory's announcement for this Strawberry Shortcake Bustier girl. Are you kidding me? The vibe is just immaculate. This is everything that I like. This is very like old Hollywood to me, like seedy Hollywood movie star with the rotary phone. She is so cute. I absolutely love everything about this. She also kind of gives me Marie Antoinette vibes, and if you know anything about me, I am a huge history buff, and the French Revolution is like probably my favorite point in time to study, and so I am just living for the vibe here. She's based off an art illustration, so I do know what her coloring is gonna be, and it's super, super cute. But the other thing is that there is actually a matching artwork that goes with this Strawberry Shortcake girl. Chocolate Cake Girl. Are you kidding me? Look at them. They are so cute. I absolutely adore this. I absolutely adore everything about this. I almost kind of like Chocolate Cake more. The vibe of Chocolate Cake Girl is also absolutely immaculate. I love her face. I absolutely adore that truffle bowler hat. Are you joking? That is the most ingenious thing I've ever seen. I really don't even know how to explain why I love these so much. Because again, I'm not usually a lewd figure enjoyer, but I feel like these are just like, they're more fashion oriented, you know? Like it's more about like the vibe and like the theming than it is about like, hey, here's some boobs and ass, right? Like obviously they're a little bit spicy. They got really nice body sculpts, but they're also really like fashion forward as well. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like I really like lingerie, and the outfit on a figure is really, really important to me. So I really like how unique these ones are. There are actually garage kits for these girls, I believe, and I think that's why Max Factory picked up the Strawberry Girl, potentially. So I think that it's not entirely impossible that Chocolate Cake is coming, but I really gotta put it out there. I am so, so, so excited about these ones. So you know how I said that I was only trying to collect characters from shows that I've seen? This one breaks that in almost every single way. This is the Rem 1/7 scale Yukata version by Kadokawa, and oh my god, you guys, this figure, I did not know this figure existed. And then I saw it in somebody's collection on Instagram, and I was like, she is so cute. I love everything about this. The color palette is impeccable. First of all, she's holding a goldfish, which I feel like is thematically relevant to my channel. I don't know if that's just copium, me trying to convince myself that I need this, because I really feel like I do. I love her props. I love her facial expression. She is just so adorable. The only thing about this one that gives me a little bit of pause is that this is actually a color variant. So this figure is actually originally blue, I believe. Yeah, it's in the related items here. So this one is the original. And she's okay. So this one goes for about retail on the aftermarket. So I believe it's like 14, 13K maybe. Yeah, 13K. You can kind of get her for in and around that range, right? However, the white one, which is the one that I want, back to our regularly scheduled program. The white one, which is the one that I want, goes for more than that, which makes sense. Listen, like they would make less of the color variant version. That just makes sense, right? But it kind of like kills me a little bit because that's just more reason why I don't need this figure, but I really want to be able to justify this. Oh my god. Okay, let's get this one out of the way. We can bang this out really fast because I'm never gonna have this figure. This is the Bandai Figuart Zero Shuei. I recently learned how to pronounce that word. I've been calling them Choet, and of course it's Shuei because, you know, it's a French word. You gotta like roll it a little bit. Figuart Zero Shuei. So I've corrected my past mistakes there. Anyways, this is the Usagi and Mamoru figure that all of the Sailor Moon fans are just like, I don't even know what to say. We know that Sailor Moon is like one of the biggest things in my life, so obviously I want to have good Sailor Moon figures. They don't really exist aside from this one. This one is so good. This one is so beautiful. She was limited and exclusive when it was released, because I believe this was released through the Sailor Moon fan club, and she was quite expensive at the time as well. I believe she retailed for around 20K. Yeah, 20,000 yen in 2018. So like she was super expensive even when she came out, and because she was limited and exclusive to the fan club, she is now like ridiculously expensive on the aftermarket. If you can find an authentic one, it is like within $900 to $1,000. It's actually insane. She's gorgeous. She's so beautiful, and I'm just never gonna have her. Some of you may know, if you have watched my 2023 pre-orders video, that I actually have the May with Mudkip figure pre-ordered, and I picked that one over the one with Torchic because I just feel like the one with Mudkip goes way better with this one. This one is the one that I really, really like. I grew up on Platinum and Heart Gold. Those were my two Pokemon games that I played religiously through my childhood. And so this is just like literally, I see myself in this figure, like me as a child. I don't know if that's weird, but like this Lyra with Chikorita, I'm really, really hoping goes up for a re-release as well. I do not see a world in which that doesn't happen. I feel like Kotobuki is just going through the cycle of re-releasing them all. So I guess I just kind of have to wait and see. But I really feel like it's gonna happen. I have high hopes that this one is gonna go back up and I'm gonna be able to get her for retail. Otherwise, I'm just never gonna have her because the aftermarket on these Pokemon ones is like ridiculously insane. So I'm waiting for a re-release. This one is the one that I feel like I am the closest to just like impulse buying off of Ami Ami Pre-Owned. I'm really trying to be good because I'm trying to get my spending under control so that I can move out of my house. But I feel like this one is gonna be the one that breaks me down because I absolutely adore this aqua. There is nothing that I don't like about this figure. I guess I should introduce her. So this is the Aqua Oiran version, 1/7 scale by Kadokawa, and she is just the most beautiful. I feel like when we get into like kimono and yukata territory, figures can kind of like lose their character appeal, but that is absolutely not the case with this one. She is so aqua, but also so adorable at the same time. I love it. Obviously, she has a very specific hairstyle, and so I love that they kept her in that. It's not aqua without that hairstyle. The scarf, of course, had to add in her classic scarf in there, and the Nature's Beauty fan. Are you kidding me? That's like her gag ability in the show, and so it's very aqua. It's very, very aqua, and I just love how they have executed this figure. Also, can we make note of the fact that she has water lilies on her yukata pattern? I am the biggest lotus fan alive. I feel like I've talked about this before. I actually have a really big lotus thigh tattoo. I'm actually wearing my lotus ring right now. You probably can't see that, but this ring is stamped with like a lotus pattern. I love lotuses. I love water lilies. And there is nothing about this figure that I don't absolutely adore. I'm saying that about so many of these figures. Obviously, I've wished them for a reason, but like this one is just like so perfect. And I loved Konosuba. I actually must make a confession that I watched Konosuba at first because I wanted to justify being able to purchase a Konosuba figure, which is not this one. We'll get to that one. But oh my god, she is so good. There is actually a set of 3 of these Oiran versions that Kadokawa did, and so I'm also super, super, super in love with this Darkness Oiran version. She is so good. I feel like she is slightly less strong than Aqua though, just because she kind of doesn't really look like Darkness as much. I just kind of feel like she's a little bit lost in character design here, but the outfit is just so beautiful. I absolutely adore the pattern that they've got going on here. The colors are just amazing. Her facial expression is so good. There is actually a Megumin that goes with this set, but I am actually kind of not really into that one. I know. I said I work in sets and then I just like dissed the set, but the Megumin is not my favorite, unfortunately. But remember how I said I watched Konosuba in the first place to be able to justify purchasing a figure that I really, really love? That's this one. That is the Megumin 1/7 scale sunflower dress version, also by Kadokawa. When I first saw this figure, I loved her. I thought she was so cute. I don't know what it is about this one specifically that speaks to me. She is super simple, but there's just something about it. I just like the vibe. It's very like sea breezy, very carefree. I like that a lot. But I was like, I've never seen Konosuba. I can't. There is just like hard line, hard stop. I will not buy this figure. However, I am a very avid trash taste watcher. And I'm sure that other trash taste watchers out there, as soon as I said that, you were like, oh, I get it now. Because the boys did an anime figure special and they actually bought this specific figure and put it like literally front and center on the set. And so every time I watch Trash Taste, I see this figure haunting me on their desk. And slowly I have just loved her more and more and more and more until I have this like carnal need to own this sunflower dress Megumin. And I needed to be able to justify it. And so I watched Konosuba and I enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved Konosuba. But it's always in the back of my mind that I watched it specifically so that I would be able to buy this figure. I'm gonna wrap it up with the Konosuba here. If I'm going to buy a Yun Yun, which I feel like I need to, It's gonna be this one. This is the 1/7 scale light novel China dress version, also by Katakawa. Katakawa is eating with these Konosuba figures. I watched a lot of people unbox this one when she first came out, and she is stunning. So I feel like I could see myself owning this one. She's not like a need, but if I'm trying to fill out a Konosuba shelf, I definitely feel like I want this one. This is taking so much longer than I thought it was going to. Here I was in the intro being like, I'm not gonna talk at length about every single figure, and then what have I done so far but do that? Anyways, to wrap up this Konosuba section, I do have saved the 1/7 scale Wiz by Good Smile Company and Helios. Wiz is my favorite Konosuba girl. I feel like she's the ultimate choice. Sorry, not gonna apologize for that. Wiz is my favorite, but she has no figures except for this one by Helios and Good Smile Company. It's not terrible, but it's also not like great either. And so I feel myself wanting to have this strictly because I love Wiz so much. And if I'm going to have some Konosuba figures, I would like to have a Wiz representative. And if this is my only option, I will pick her up. But I am hoping and praying that some other figure companies pick her up as well. She was not expensive. I believe that she retailed for 11K. No, 12K. Okay, that's not too bad then. Obviously, I really don't even feel like I need to open this one up again because I have basically not shut up about this figure since I started collecting, but this is the Hikari with Potama, Dawn with Piplup, Kotobukiya Artifacts J figure. This one is probably my ultimate holy grail. This one specifically, I love, but also they just recently announced a prototype for the Dawn with Turtwig, which is here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. So I am also like insanely ungodly excited for this one as well. I am reasonably certain that when they put this one up for pre-order, they will also be putting up a re-release for the one with Piplup. I don't see it not happening. Yeah, nothing much to say aside from that. I'm just waiting on these Pokemon ones, but I am so in love with both of these and can't wait to have them. Okay, this, I guess we're getting into like the Demon Slayer section. This is the 1/8 scale Kanao Tsuyuri by Alter. I absolutely adore Kanao, my baby girl. She is like one of my favorite Demon Slayer characters, but she actually doesn't have too many figures as of yet. She hasn't really played like a huge pivotal role in any of the story yet. I'm hoping that she does. Again, I'm an anime only, so please don't spoil the manga for me. I don't want to know. But I hear you saying, do you not already have a Kanao in your collection? And the truth of it is, I do. When I first started figure collecting, I was strictly collecting prize figures, and so I actually have a whole shelf of Ichiban Kuji Demon Slayer figures. And I do really love some of them, but some of them are just like, listen, I loved them at the time. I really did, because I was only collecting prize figures and I was like, oh yeah, these are characters that I really love. But now that I'm on the other side, now that I've come to the dark side of scale figures, I am really highly considering replacing my Demon Slayer collection with scales. And so I really would love to have a good Kanao. This Alter one binned so hard on the aftermarket. The Shinobu one did as well, a little bit less drastically, but this one you can find from anywhere from like 6,000 to 8,000 yen. She is very affordable, especially for Alter, and so I like this one. This one is a strong option. However, there are so many Demon Slayer figures out there and most of them are relatively affordable on the aftermarket, and so I'm just playing a waiting game to see if one comes along that I like better. Potentially, I mean, I really like the Kotobukiya Demon Slayer ones, and so I feel like if they ever did Kanao, that one would probably be my winner. But for now, I have this one saved because she is my current favorite. She's cute. She just is, and you know that Alter is gonna knock everything out of the park. So I know that she would be beautiful and she would be a great addition to my collection. I'm just kind of waiting to see if she is the ultimate winner, if that makes sense. Speaking of Demon Slayer and Butterfly Girls, of course you know that I have to get an upgraded Shinobu. There are so many Shinobu figures out there though that I had a really hard time picking which one was my favorite, and I think that I have solidly landed on the Kotobukiya one. Listen, I know that so many people are like ridiculously in love with the Alter Shinobu, and she is gorgeous too, but there's just something about the hair sculpt on this one and like the butterfly effect of her base that just is really flashy and elegant to me. This is the one for me. This is the Shinobu for me. And I have been so close to impulse buying this one as well. You can buy her right now for $80 Canadian. 80 Canadian on Solaris, and you can ship her for like 20 bucks. So I could have this figure at my doorstep for $100 Canadian. And I don't know why I'm hesitating, because that is such a good deal for a Kotobukiya figure. I really cannot make impulse purchases right now, so I'm not going to. But she is readily available and gorgeous, and so I feel like this is the Shinobu I will have. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we talked about that Rem, the Rem Yukata. And I said, I've never seen ReZero, and so I cannot justify buying ReZero figures. But again, there is something about this one specifically that I just love so much. This is the Ram 1/7 scale Battle with Rosewall version by Kadokawa. I don't know what it is about these Kadokawa figures, man, but they're just like getting me. This Ram is so good. I love how she looks like beat up, her stockings are split, she's dirty, she's kind of like charred and like kind of like singed from like a fireball or something like that. Again, I've never seen the show, so I don't know, but she is just so cute. I love her fierce expression. Her pose is amazing. These like magic effects are really giving me life. I don't know what it is about this one. I love her. And I cannot justify picking her up again because I've never seen ReZero, but I think she is so cute. Obviously, we're back on Demon Slayer here for a second. I am wanting to upgrade my Kamado siblings. I want a good Tanjiro figure that I love, right? But I feel like they can never get his face right. He's much like Shoto Todoroki in that way, where there's like only a couple of figures in which he actually looks like he's supposed to. And I'm not saying that this one is perfect. I'm just saying it's better than the one that I have. And I quite like the Figuarts Zero Demon Slayer line in general. I know like it's Bandai, so it's not gonna be like the greatest echelon of quality. However, this one specifically I like because keep in mind, I work in sets, and so when I saw these two together, I saw somebody unbox these two together and they look amazing in real life. I've actually seen these ones. They sold them at my local EB Games. I don't know why I just didn't pick them up then, but they are much cheaper on the aftermarket now. But they're so good. They're so good. I like these ones a lot. I'm gonna try and rapid fire through a few of these because I feel like I'm taking way too long with this. So this is the 1/7 scale Katarina Kleist figure by Furyu. I love My Next Life as a Villainess, and so I was really on the fence about pre-ordering this one. Ultimately, I kind of just decided to see how she turned out, and I've seen lots of people review her and really love her. I know that her face looks really weird in these photos, but it does look a lot better in real life, and so I would see myself picking this one up because I really love the series and she is adorable. She turned out so good. I should really just stop talking about these figures, to be honest, because every time I do, I'm always like, I really want these, but I can't justify buying Q Poskets because they're just like, Q Poskets are the Funko Pops of the anime figure collecting community, and so I feel like you guys would clown on me. But they're so cute, and I love Sailor Moon, and they're holding hands, you guys. They're holding hands. Here's another draft that I was super duper excited about to come out of the last Wand Hobby. Again, I'm not going to be going over the Wand Hobby ones in as much depth in this video because I just did literally a week ago in my Wine and Wand Fest video. But I was waiting on this paint, so I was super duper excited to see her get updated. They did also announce another sculpt of this same character design, if I can find it here somewhere. Listen, she is really cute. I might pick this one up, I might pick the other one up, I might pick up neither of them. I don't know yet, but I do like this design, and so I'm interested to see how this one turns out. Again, this is another announcement from the last Wand Hobby. This is the Urza Scarlet 1/7 scale by Belfine. This girl is gonna be so expensive. Look at that big ass flag. Are you kidding me? She's gonna be so expensive, but you know that I'm gonna purchase this one. You just know. You just know. I have to have this one. I have to. And I don't like Belfine as a manufacturer in general, but I have to. There's nothing else I can say. I just have to. I'm a slave. This one I'm actually quite interested to see how he turns out. This is the Nanami Kento by Mega House. Nanami was my favorite Jujutsu Kaisen character, and I did like Jujutsu Kaisen. I just don't really like a lot of the figures that come out for it. Aside from this one I think is pretty cool. That's pretty funny because if you watched my other video, I actually shit on this when it was just an unpainted prototype, and I was like, I hate this, he's the worst one, na. And then he was painted and I was like, actually, he's not half bad. Oh my god, my beloved. My beloved, the 1/6 scale 15th anniversary Strawberry Miku. I love this figure. I love everything about her. She is so good. I love the paint. I love the sculpt. I love the colors. I love the facial expression. I love her outfit. Everything about this is so, so good. I absolutely adore this figure. I would have pre-ordered her in an instant if she was more reasonably priced than she is. I really want this figure. Words cannot describe how much I love this figure, but I have already resigned myself to the fact that I'm just never gonna have her. She is too expensive for me. She retails for, I think it's like 39,000. 39,000. And I just can't. Like, I think you could get her for 34 off of Ami, which is maybe where I'm pulling that number from. But like, I cannot justify. I cannot justify. I'm not at a point in my life where I'm able to drop that much on a figure at once. I can't. Even though I really, really want to, she is so good. I do really love Froppy, and so I am excited to see what Spiritel does with this. However, the thing that I am most excited about is actually the Spiritel Nejire, because Nejire is my favorite My Hero character. I know that is a really weird thing to say because she gets like next to 0 scenes and no character development, but she's my favorite hero. She is my favorite character from My Hero Academia, and the Belfine one let me down. I was so excited about the Belfine one, and then they just like, they wrecked it. They totally wrecked it. I hate that figure, and so I'm really hoping that Spiritel does a better job with Nejire, and I will probably end up pre-ordering this one if it's even half decent, because I love Nejire so much, and I need a Nejire in my collection. Oh my god. This one is one that falls very closely to how I feel about the Strawberry Miku. I love everything about this bunny, but I just cannot justify the price. I cannot justify spending the money on picking this one up, but I think she is insanely gorgeous. I love the unique bunny suit she's got going on here. I love the like headdress thing she's got going on. So good. Usually when it comes to freeing bunnies, I am a huge critic, but I really, really like this one. This one, I feel like I would need to have the fishnets. The fishnets just add something to this that I feel like a bare leg, it just wouldn't hit the same. So if I'm gonna purchase this one, it's gotta be with stockings, and I cannot justify. I can't. Obviously, something that I feel like needs to be said is that POC figures in this community are very few and far between, and when they do make figures with darker skin tones, I have personally observed that a lot of the time, the darkest skin tones that you see on figures are put on very like fetishized anime figures. Like I know she's like a little bit lewd because it's a freeing bunny, but I hope you kind of understand what I mean by that, where like when you see these really like culturally diverse figures, a lot of the times it's under a very like sexualized, fetishized lens, where it's almost like the culture is the kink. Does that make sense at all? I really hope that it does. And so I like to see POC figures just like existing. I really don't know if this is gonna make any sense, but I like this figure a lot, and I really wish that I could justify picking her up. Those of you that are gonna get her, I am so jealous. She is so good. This one I did just talk about last week as well. This is the original character, cheerleader Aya 1/6 by Hobby Sakura. I was a cheerleader in high school. That is why I am like craving good cheerleader figures. At the time, I said that I was really close to impulse pre-ordering this one when it goes up, but at the time I did not realize that she is actually already up. She's actually not too expensive either. She's like 14K, which is not bad. Oh my god. These ones, I am so insanely excited about these. These are the Panty and Stocking Pop-Up Parade larges. Oh my god. These came out not at the last one hobby, but the one before that in the summer, and I really just love. I actually had the altar panty on my wish list for so long because I love Panty and Stocking and I love their character designs, and I just feel they would look so good on my Magical Girl shelf. I love it. I love everything about these. Their facial expressions are adorable. Their poses are amazing. Their outfits look so nice. I almost undoubtedly will be pre-ordering these ones. This is another announcement from the Summer One hobby that I was quite excited about as well. This is Marin Kitagawa in her Liz cosplay by Alter. Liz is my favorite of Marin's cosplays, and so I was waiting for an announcement of a Liz figure, and Alter was actually the first one to announce one, I believe, and so I obviously was super excited. Spirit Tail is making a Liz as well. I had it saved in here somewhere. I knew I did. So I'm just kind of waiting to see how those ones turn out. Personally, myself, I am more so leaning Alter on this just because I know how good Alter figures are, and I don't actually have any in my collection, and so I think it would be kind of nice to have Liz as my first Alter figure. This is the one that I am the most excited about out of all of my drafts. This is the Urza Scarlet Orca Toys Heaven's Wheel armor version. I am so ungodly excited about this one. There is almost no world in which I will not be pre-ordering this one. Even if she turns out shit, I do not care. I adore this sculpt. I adore this armor. I have been waiting so long for a good Heaven's Wheel armor figure. I really did consider biting the bullet on the Sume Art one because I wanted a Heaven's Wheel armor figure, and I thought that that was the best we were ever gonna get. But ultimately, I really just didn't like her face. I didn't like her pose, and so I passed on that one. And Orca Toys came to save me with this absolutely gorgeous sculpt. Yet another Urza draft from the last one hobby. Again, Union Creative, dude. Like, I really don't like it, but I do. This is the Urza Scarlet Seduction Armor version. You guys know, I am not a super huge fan of like the super sexy Urzas. I much prefer her in her armor versions, just because I love the character, not like as a waifu, you know? But this outfit is canon. It is a part of the show, and she does wear it, and I feel like I don't need this one. I don't want this one. But I do. It's Urza. That's all I have to say. I don't need to explain more. It's Urza. I also have the Nendoroid announcements for Zhongli and Kaya from Genshin Impact saved. Kaya is like one of my all-time favorites, and so I am almost assuredly going to be picking this one up, depending on if he turns out well, I suppose. Zhongli I am less so attached to as a character, so I'm like probably not gonna pick that one up, but I just kind of want to see how it turns out. And then of course, you know we had to. This is the Urza Scarlet Nendoroid. Max Factory is making this one, so I am quite excited to see how she turns out. Again, we'll almost definitely be buying this one. The level of insane, like the level of feral that I am for Urza Scarlet, like we know. I don't have to keep reiterating this. But I am so insane that it has actually crossed my mind, not as a joke, to buy like 3 different copies of this Nendoroid so that I can display her with all of the faceplates that she comes with. And that would be a very, very poor decision, but I think it's just gonna depend on how good I think her accessories are. We'll see how it goes, I guess. But I have been thinking about this and I feel like I might break down and buy at least 2 so that I can display them in different poses. I don't know. Because you know, once you pick a Nendoroid pose, you are not changing that thing ever. Like, I don't know anybody that changes their Nendoroids. We don't really need to get into these last couple of figures in too great of a detail because, to be honest, I've talked about it so many times, you guys are probably tired, but I am still interested in completing my Kira Kira Precure a la Mode Cutie Candy Toy set. I do have Cure Whip in my collection already. You can maybe kind of see her over there. These ones are not expensive on the aftermarket. I just like, they most commonly pop up on Mandarake, and the Mandarake shipping is just like stupid. And so I guess maybe I could try to find them on Yahoo Auctions maybe, but then I have to pay like a proxy service for it. So like there's really just no convenient way to buy them. So I'm kind of just waiting to figure out how I can get them for as cheap as possible. And I guess that's the end. It's kind of an anticlimactic finish, but that's the end. This video took so much longer to film than I thought that it would. I thought that I was going to be able to make it a shorter video this time, but I guess I just have a lot to say. So hopefully you did enjoy this video. Let me know in the comments down below which of these figures you are also the most interested in. I would love to know what you think in the comments down below. Also, in other very, very exciting news, thank you guys so much for 800 subscribers. It feels like just a couple of videos ago that I was thanking you guys for 700, and now it's 8. There's 800 of you, and that is like insane to me. So thank you so much for tuning in every week to watch me talk about figures. I am really loving that you guys are enjoying these. Also, I feel like it is worth noting, I've been having some really good conversations in my comments box recently, and so thank you so much to those of you that are taking the time out of your day to comment on my videos. Content creation a lot of the time can feel like screaming into the void, and so I am so grateful that you guys are taking the time to scream back from the bottom of the void. I am really appreciative of that. Thank you so much. But of course, as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you on the flip side.